Hi, I'm Sierra Morris and this is Checking the Chicks. In this video, I'll be talking about keeping healthy chickens without free-ranging. It's totally possible to keep a healthy and happy backyard flock even if you don't have the option of free-ranging them. If you have the option to free-range or allow your chickens to graze on fresh pasture daily, that is obviously the ideal. However, for many people, that's not practical or possible. Maybe you have a small suburban flock with very limited space. Maybe the predator pressure in your area is just too extreme to allow free-ranging without great cost or danger to your flock. Whatever your reasons, it is possible to provide your chickens with a wonderful and fulfilling life even without free-ranging. It just takes a few extra considerations. For our particular backyard flock situation, we're able to reliably free-range our chickens about 7 months out of the year. Our micro homestead is at a high elevation in our region, and we experience long, bitter, cold winters where the weather extremes make free-ranging impractical or downright impossible. So this was a consideration when we built our chicken infrastructure, that at least part of the year the flock would be living exclusively inside their infrastructure. If your backyard chickens are going to be living in confinement most of or all of the time, consider building your flock with breeds that are meant to live in those type of conditions. Chicken breeds like Australorps, Orpingtons, Rhode Island Reds, Leghorns, and Plymouth Rocks all can thrive in confinement when given the tools they need to be happy and healthy. Larger, heavier breeds are just not meant to be kept in confinement. Also, consider bantams. While yes, smaller bantam breeds will lay a few hundred less eggs per year than a standard-sized chicken, they are reliable, fun layers that require less space and have other wonderful traits. Provide the maximum amount of space possible for your chickens. To you, it's your chicken enclosure and infrastructure, but to your flock, it could be their whole world. If you think your flock will be living mostly or exclusively in their chicken enclosure, provide them with as much space as you can. The space recommendations for this kind of flock management style are at least 6 square feet of coop space per standard size bird and at least 10 square feet of run space per standard size bird. The more space you can provide for your flock, the better. You can extend the space available to your flock during the day by adding a chunnel, a protected chicken tunnel, or other additions that are accessible to them during the daylight hours to give them more autonomy of movement. Keep a smaller flock. With less space, it's recommended to only keep the number of chickens you can accommodate in your infrastructure in a healthy way, especially if they're going to be living in this mostly or exclusively all of the time. Overcrowding causes disease, stress, loss of productivity, aggression, and in extreme cases, even cannibalism, while chickens will harm themselves or each other. If you'll be keeping your flock in confinement most or all of the time, you'll need to invest in additional infrastructure such as a coop and a run. The coop is the predator-proof enclosure where your chickens will sleep at night. In our setup, this is also where our nesting boxes are. The run is a protected exercise area that gives your chickens additional options for movement and activity during the day. Use hardware cloth on your coop construction to protect your chickens from predators while they sleep. Your infrastructure should have a sturdy roof to protect your chickens from the elements. We also provide walls on our run during the winter months. Your chicken space should be well ventilated, meaning fresh air can move through the space, but not drafty. As in, wind, snow, and rain should not be falling directly on your chickens, especially if they're in confinement without any other options for shelter. Provide your flock with multiple kinds of roosts and perches. Your flock will instinctively roost at night for safety, but perches and roosts also provide enrichment during the day, allowing your flock different places to climb and perch. You can build roosts and perches from 2x4s, scrap lumber, or fallen branches as long as they're thick enough. Make sure you remove any sharp edges from objects you are providing for your flock to perch and roost on. Prioritize cleaning. Living in confinement means that droppings will accumulate quickly in your chicken areas. You will need to develop a sound daily and seasonal cleaning routine to maintain your flock's health and wellness. Accumulated droppings pose a threat to your flock's wellness. Clean and maintain your chicken coop and run regularly to keep your flock healthy and productive. Scrape droppings from perches and roosts, refresh nest box liner as needed, and refresh and replace your ground cover litter appropriately. Use a livestock-safe ground cover litter. Without free-ranging, whatever area your chickens are being kept in will soon become a mud pit. Mud can harbor pests as well as contribute to conditions that cause frostbite. Choose a livestock safe ground cover that works for you and your region. We use pine shavings, but you can also use stone pea gravel or coarse sand. Your ground cover will need to be spot cleaned and changed annually in entirety to keep it from harboring pests from season to season. I don't recommend mulch as a ground cover in a chicken area due to the sharp pieces, dyes, and impracticality of scooping it. There are many better livestock-friendly choices to choose from. Provide your chickens with a bath in their enclosure. Access to a dust bath is part of how your chickens keep themselves healthy. Dust bathing is how chickens remove dirt and other harmful things from their skin and feathers. I fill our dust baths with clean fill dirt, wood ash that is free from chemicals, and food-grade diatomaceous earth. If you don't have access to those things where you live, they can all be purchased by the bag and online. It's important to use the food-grade diatomaceous earth, not the pesticide kind. Provide your flock with multiple food and water stations. Chickens organize themselves in a social structure called the pecking order. Multiple food and water stations makes it possible for members of the flock with less standing to eat and drink without being harassed by more dominant members of the hierarchy. This leads to much more inter-flock harmony and is especially important if your chickens are going to be living mostly or exclusively in confinement. Provide grit and calcium supplements separate from your chickens' food. While chickens on pastured will be able to forage their own grit without the option to free range regularly or at all, you will need to provide these supplements for your flock to maintain their health. Grit allows your chickens to break down their food properly in their gizzard to obtain the maximum amount of nutrients possible from their food. Calcium supplements support strong eggshells and feathers. Provide these supplements separate from their food in a different container. They will eat and ingest them as they need it and refill it as necessary. Use treats as a form of enrichment. Healthy treats a few times a week helps break up the boredom for your chickens, and they can spend hours dismantling a vegetable on a string. You can also do a treat treasure hunt and hide treats in their enclosure for them to discover. Remove any uneaten treats or dirty livestock dishes at night to avoid attracting predators to your chicken area. If it is at all possible, build your chicken structure large enough that you're actually able to walk through it and spend time with your chickens in their space. I've already created helpful videos for beginners about forming your own chicken cleaning care routine and also about providing low-cost or no-cost enrichment ideas for your flock, and I'll link those videos below in the description. Even without free-ranging, you can provide your backyard flock with an amazing and fulfilling life. With a little extra work, you can keep their space clean, inviting, and amusing to them to maximize their health, happiness, and productivity. With effort and planning, even without free-ranging, it is possible to give your chickens a great quality of life. I hope the information in this video was helpful to you. If you're enjoying my content, please like, share, and subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our flock. Lots of love from our coop to yours. See you next time.